Yo, what is good, guys? I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Happy Halloween, by the way. I had a crazy weekend. 3-day bender. Went to the bars on Thursday. Went to the frat to the U of M on Friday. Threw a party of my own on Saturday, and it was a crazy weekend. If you're in the Discord, I told you some stories. Make sure to join that Discord. It's a fun Discord. Not only are you making money, but it's a pretty tight community in there. So make sure to join that Discord, so you can see my stories I've been talking about the past few days. And yeah, I spent most of the day yesterday recovering, so um, waited out one day to make this video, and I do have some stuff to show you guys. So make sure to watch this whole thing through. We're just gonna get right into it. So make sure to show the video some love, give it a like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So to start off, Bitcoin, of course, we're just gonna get through this video. There's not too much to say. You got the Fed meeting coming up. That's pretty important. And actually, another thing to note. The midterm, I had a lot of midterms or finals for some of my classes. They were only half of a semester, so I will now have a lot more time to really do my stocks, do my charting and stuff. I'll be in the Discord even more, so I'm really encouraging you guys to go join my Discord if you're not already in there. There really is no reason not to. So to start off, Bitcoin. In my last video, I was talking about how it was in this falling wedge. It's gonna break out and it's gonna go to these targets. It's that I gave you that range, and so far it's already hit the first target of that range. Got two more levels up to 22,700 ish. So it's going the right way so far. Let's see what the momentum is looking like. I see more upside. Bitcoin's kind of slow here, so I don't really see a consistent solid, like, strong trend, I guess. This just kind of looks like a burst, so I would like to see a little more, like, slow paced uptrending rather than, like, some kind of spike like this. But this was a breakout too, so you would like to see some leveling out, some basing before a consistent uptrend. So oil, this has been going pretty much according to the plan so far. If you're in the Discord, we bought in literally right down here. We're waiting for this ABC to finish, which I'm just going to show you how we found our entry so that you can use this. This has a lot to do with Elliott wave theory, so unless you know Elliott wave, that'll make it harder. But again, another reason, join that Discord so you can learn how to do this stuff. You got your ABC down, you hit that target we entered when it shot under that level a little, and we've just been holding ever since. And I knew we were going to turn around from up here. I wanted to short here, but I did not, just because it was a little complicated, kind of hard to explain. But you hit that target right here on the dot. You got your reversal from the 1.236. So what you have here could be an inverse head and shoulders forming, which would take us up to the 90s. And originally I wanted to ride my long up to around 92 and then go short from there, but with the way that this wave fell short of 92 and we got a retrace, this is actually where I was looking to short to. I was hoping we would get all the way to 92, and it would look something like this, up to here, all the way up to 92, and then short it down to 87 before going even higher. And that's not how it went, so I'm kind of reconsidering what I'll be doing up at these levels, but we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. Oil still looks pretty solid to me, so not too much else to say. I think we could be finally getting kind of a nice turnaround too, but we'll see. So seasonality, that's also another big thing for oil. Seasonality wise, it's very bullish. The US dollar, we finally broke out of that wedge. We've been waiting quite a while for this to happen. That rejection at that long-term trend line. And right now, I'm not sure what it wants to do. I have some stuff to talk about on the VIX, which will kind of correlate with what the DXY does, because the DXY, has that really strong correlation with the U.S. markets. So what this does matter. So I think inevitably we have more downside, especially if we're gonna break this white trend line here, which I thought was longer. I think I might just be drawing it differently, but point is, I do think there's more downside. But for the short term, you could see some kind of I don't know, stuttering kind of before breaking down. Now, I don't think we're just gonna go to the all-time highs or something like that, and DXY goes sub 100. But That's kind of the point I'm looking at. Maybe we get all the way. I don't know. It's hard to say where we want to go right now. We'll just kind of follow it. I kind of just use the DXY as a medium term indication of what the market wants to do. So I think it's important that it retests this trend line right here. Um, there's a couple of other ways you can draw this line, like something like that. You get the point what I'm saying here, but so far you could, or for now is what I mean, you could see some like stalling around here before going lower. Apple, this is difficult. Same thing with Tesla, they're kind of doing the same thing with this volume profile. So I like to use this as an indication of supply and demand zones, ultimately which are supports and resistances. Now, when you don't really have clear, like, let me show you an example. Actually, I'll show you that later on SPY. I'm actually going to go over what happened on Friday and what I was doing. Kind of a mistake I kind of made. You'll see what I'm talking about. That's pretty important. There's stuff to learn from that, so I recommend sticking around for that. But Apple here, so we got that bounce we're looking for. Really important zone to hold for a bounce. That's what happened. We held this region right here. We bounced really hard, and I said we'd have trouble getting over 152, I believe. And that's what happened. We got a pretty hard rejection before, I believe this was earnings. That was unbelievable. That was kind of a miracle. Saved the market from a pretty big correction, which I'm going to explain pretty soon. So, Apple, I'm not really sure what I want to do above this. It's just kind of, I don't know, kind of like whatever it wants to do. You got gaps above, so these are really the things I'm looking at for incentive for Apple to move in certain directions. You got a gap up here, pretty wide one, as well as two gaps below. So I'm looking at this gap more than these two right now, but you could come down and fill this. I'm not sure about this one. So not too much to say about Apple. I really don't see any clear direction yet. So Tesla, nothing really new to say. You held that bottom zone here, and again, where you're sitting at is kind of important actually. It's in the middle of this bell curve shape volume profile, right in the center here. So you could see kind of a battle between the bulls and the bears while they decide which way they want to swing this in this volume profile right here. So, or this volume node. So Tesla, kind of sit back and watch. I'm kind of biased towards the upside. But if you start breaking under this region here, yeah, especially the 200s, it's pretty crucial that it holds that. So unless this breaks, I think I am biased towards the upside. SOX, I'm not going to bother saying this. I always mess that up. There's two X's. This, I'm looking for that breakout. You know, you got a lot of momentum building up to the upside. SOX, this is breaking down. SOXL is testing that resistance close above it today. And I believe this is a volume area. Yeah, so kind of a high demand area. Yeah, pretty high demand area actually. So you could be seeing more upside on this. It's kind of basing out right now, maybe inverse head and shoulders. But yeah, if it gets over this, there's a lot of upside. As I've been already saying for the past like 2 weeks, whatever, I pointed it out from here, not even at this bottom, up to this trend line. That's like 30%. That's crazy. So I do think there's more upside on this if it wants to go. Fill this gap. That's like another 60%, I believe. 60%. So eyes on SOXL. This could move a lot more. Now, okay, on to the important part of this video. Starting with the VIX here. I think the first thing I want to point out is we are at a 12 count right now. Now this is something you don't want to trade solely off of, but you want to use it and tie it in with other factors, kind of indicators, indications. But right now you have a 12 count, so you get your 9 count, and it can extend past the 9 count to a 13 count. And when you get to a 9 count, it's very likely you get a reversal soon. Or very, very shortly after. So, you get your 9 count, and it extends a little afterwards, and then you get your massive shoot upwards. You get your 9 count, massive shoot upwards, extend a little afterwards, same thing. So 9 count. So you get the point of what I'm saying here, 9 count. I think we could be looking at a reversal soon on the markets, but there is definitely a chance we have a little more upside, which I'm going to explain in a little bit. So, you broke a pretty important support area, which I was kind of expecting this to hold as support for a little bit. Although ultimately I was looking for the market to turn around, but uh, I did not really think it would break this so easily. I mean, you really didn't even bounce off of it. So VIX pretty weak here. Markets are looking strong. Ultimately, you're still in this pattern, this triangle. This might make it a little more clear. Yeah. So this triangle right here, A, B, C, D, E. Touch it one more time. Um, you just kind of got to go like day by day on the VIX, but I think this is a pretty important line to test. So I wouldn't be surprised if you come down and hit that, and you bounce from it in the next couple days. So FOMC's coming up Wednesday. It would make a lot of sense to get some relief to the downside on FOMC, but you never know. The markets are so erratic right now. Currently, we're over the gamma threshold in positive gamma, which means the volatility is lowered by a significant amount with upwards drift. So market makers are going to be hedging to the downside. That might sound a little confusing. I'll explain that more in my Discord. Join the Discord again. I'm going to keep stressing that over and over. Join that Discord. There's nothing to lose from joining that. So that's going to be in the description. And about that, those gamma levels, once you're above this, you're going to see the volatility slow down. So, I think we're ready to move on to SPY. Yeah, I think we can do that. So in negative gamma, you have insane volatility. Like, you remember these days, this was crazy. If you're a scalper, that was a lot of fun for you. But once you start getting up into these positive gamma territories over the gamma threshold, we're going to go back into August when we pushed back above it. You see the volatility start to slow down. You don't have insane swings. It's more just this upwards drift with lower volatility. So that's where we currently are right now. A very similar scenario to June and August. So I think first off I want to explain what happened last week, what I was kind of trying to do. So that's what I'm going to do. So we're gonna rewind or replay to, I believe it was this day. Yeah. So I was looking for a deeper retrace. There was this wedge right here, and I thought we would retrace all the way down to 370, 367, possibly 363. That did not happen because of an important demand zone that we held. So, give it a second. I'm waiting for this to show up. I'm not sure why it's not showing up. Okay, I'll just have to do a new one. And if it doesn't work, whatever. Okay, there, it still worked. So, I was looking for this. This was a big demand zone. I think we could actually return here very soon, which is kind of the bias I have for this video. A little more upside before a big drop. And I think you could return because this is a very big demand zone. You can find a lot of buyers right here. But before that, you had this smaller demand zone, which I said we would find support at. And I did not think we would find support at it. So I guess like easily. I'm not sure if that's the word I'm looking for. But we're just going to play it. So give me a second. Can I speed this up? Okay, well, they changed the layout of this, so it's a little different, but the point is here, actually, no, I kind of want to show you guys this, so, if it's not going to cooperate, then I'm just going to have to move on, but, okay, yeah, perfect, so we hit this demand zone, and I was thinking the next day there was a chance we could break it, but we actually ended up bouncing from it. And this was Apple earnings. This was absolutely broken. Apple, Amazon, they plummeted on earnings, and the next day we rallied like crazy. So then we got our gap down today. And what is next? What am I looking for? Well, this is where kind of the bias that I have for this video comes in. So we are in this massive wedge right here. I want to take some stuff off so you can see this stuff a little more clearly, but I think we could be looking at a pretty deep reversal soon, but I wouldn't want to be a full bear at these levels because there's a lot of people shorting. CTAs have not started buying it. That's more, to make it simple, that's like systematic buying from computers. And currently they're waiting to, once SPY gets into the 3900s, or like 390s, that's when those algorithms will start buying, and it's over 400 billion worth right now. So you won't want to be on the wrong side of that. That's what happened in August. That was CTAs buying, and once they stopped buying, that's when we got your reversal. If you were in the Discord, we shorted on that peak. So join the Discord again. Nothing to lose there. So I think we could have potentially a little more upside, maybe one more high before reversing down, and I would love to see that because that would really make a lot of things click if we get one more high, especially before FOMC. That would make me think there's an even higher chance we reverse down on FOMC. So it's kind of a tricky area, and again, because I don't have as many classes as I did previously, I think I will be able to do videos during the week, like more than one, so I can do an update after the FOMC meeting, kind of see where we're at, what levels we need to hold and everything. And the ultimate picture I'm looking for is for it to look like this: an ABC up to 410 to fill this gap right here. So however that pans out, you have gaps near 430 and 420, but ultimately I'm looking for 410. Kind of it's the last melt up of 2022. So a couple things that kind of confirm my bias of moving to the downside are the MACD and RSI on the hourly charts. So 2-hour MACD, or the 1-hour MACD, you have a head and shoulders forming here. You got rejected at this resistance here, and it's been crossing over twice. You have divergences now, so that's pretty big in my eyes. On the 2-hour, you have crossing over, I believe. I'm not sure about a divergence. Yeah, divergence and crossing over. So there's a lot of reasons this thing is ready to turn down and get some actual relief. Like, this is not relief. That's not relief. That's not enough. So 4-hour RSI balancing on its moving average. So there's a chance we could get one more high before a nice correction, which is what I would prefer to see. And I think a lot of that's going to revolve around that FOMC meeting on Wednesday. So not too much else I have to say. I started using Bookmap. This might look very confusing to you, but this is something I've just started recently using. I've been looking into it a lot, and this shows you where orders are located in real time. It shows you the order flow, and the two big levels I'm watching right now are 390. So this is for S&P 500 futures. The big levels are 3900 flat and 3905. So those are the two levels we were trying to break today, actually, and on Friday too, I believe. As you can see, there's a lot of sell orders here. So that's where we're going to have a lot of resistance we could get rejected from before a big cool off, and then returning to those levels again in the future to attempt to break it again. So there's not too much else. That's really all I have for this video. To summarize it up, the bias I have is I think we could be looking at a correction soon, if not a little more upside before that. But FOMC, if the Fed does something crazy, it could really go anywhere. So I'm probably going to do a video right after that FOMC meeting to kind of see where we're at from a macro standpoint, fundamental standpoint, and just see where we're really at all together. So if you watch this whole thing through, show the video some love, give it a like and subscribe. Make sure to join the Discord, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the night. We'll see how tomorrow goes, and peace out, guys.